Hi, Swati. How are you?
I'm doing well, Isaiah. How are you?
Doing very well. Thank you for taking the time to be here and congratulations on your transition.
Thank you so much. It's a great opportunity to share it with my community.
Yeah. And as you know, there's lots of PhDs who are trying to transition right now. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your story. You're successful now, you've transitioned. I wanted to hear
Mhm.
about the challenges you had, but maybe we could just start by having you introduce yourself and the position and company you're with now, please.
Sure. My name is Swati Dhar. I joined a company called as Neo Immune Tech. It's based in Maryland. I joined as a senior scientist. Currently, because of this COVID, it's a remote position, but I can work entirely remotely right now. And we'll see how it goes and things morph.
Yes. Well, thank you. And congrats again, getting hired despite the difficult environment. Truly amazing. No, congratulations and thank you for being here again. Now, I want to rewind a little bit prior to your transition to the challenges you were having. Really, the two types of challenges: the mindset challenges, not knowing how to start, having academic versus industry mindset, but also the tactical job search challenges, resume, networking, information interviews. Think back to those challenges. When were they the worst? Right? What was like that? We could say the darkest hour. What challenges were you facing at that time?
Yeah, my story, put shortly, it went quite a few years since I joined CSA. But then, due to one or the other reason, but then if I point it out, the most important thing that I learned from this community was networking.
Mm,
Which is paramount, not only in industry, it is something that is there everywhere. But leveraging your connections, even if I was there on LinkedIn, I just didn't know how to use it correctly. And my aha moments were like uh, just tailoring the resume for every job. And now that I am in this position, I really realize, because I did some interviews recently, and I realize what it is to be on the hiring panel and what they are looking for. So those were very much the learning points which helped me to climb up. The darkest hours I was many, but the blessing was this community having a group of like-minded professionals who are
mm,
trying to navigate this very complicated sea of like nobody prepares you in the academia. Now there may be some platforms, but I think nothing was there 4 or 5 years back when you initiated this. So this is like a pioneering thing that you did. So the
yeah.
darkest hour was when you send tons of resumes and jobs and go through those job descriptions and just understanding the easiest ways to connect with the people. Of course, I would say that this particular job just fell on my side only through the LinkedIn, and that is entirely a big kudos to this group that helped me so many years. So I think they came in waves. The realization about the resume itself, how to present yourself on LinkedIn, and of course networking. So I think there are three phases to it, and we all learn in our own ways. So yeah, those were the realizations that I had. Yeah,
Yeah,
through the
and
journey.
the changes you made too. You did bring up the private group and the community, and it's hard for it's hard for any PhD on the outside to really look in and see what that's like, and to think about how useful it is in terms of the on the ground advice, reading transition stories, how responsive it is. Can you describe it in your own words for people on the outside?
Absolutely. So over the years, I was able to not only be in the main group, but also join the R&D Society, and now I'm part of the SMBA and just embarking on it because this was like just around COVID.
Yeah.
But I realized the values. When you throw out a question, you have so many things to navigate. It's just the job search itself is a job by itself. So you are
Mm,
doing a full time, whether you're working or not. When you throw out a question to this group, this amazing group of individuals would just come out. Not only the moderators, it's just we look out for each other. And
yeah.
and now, because the group has become magnanimously big, like and I understand that you have done a great job segueing every single field because it's so niche. But then there are certain things for example, the most valuable thing for me was negotiation. I would never think of putting down myself on a negotiating table, but it brought back those elements to consider yourself as a professional, your training and valuing yourself. So yeah, it's still a learning curve. I'm still, these are the very few last 3 weeks when I onboarded, but there is a huge difference how people see you and what you really think of yourself. So
Mm,
the constant idea of reinforcing each other that you are good, you can be better always, that never ends. But just getting that feeling that no, there is value to my PhD, to my learning, and I have a place, that place has to just come back and say yes to me. So that reinforcement was very monumental, especially in very dark times. Over the past 1 year, one would realize that this has been an exceptional year, but PhDs always go through this. The fact that they completed their PhD, they defended through a committee and whatnot. So I believe that reinforcement of courage is very important for a community, and also technical aspects as well. It's just not a community who says you are just good, but then they really evaluate and they give you good comments back. And now that the group is also expanded on the transitioned associates, so that's a very, very valuable group, which I always used to think, is there something like that on CSA, that when once you transition, what kind of support do I get? Because industry is a totally different behemoth. You have no
yes,
idea. So
yes.
I think the community does very well in balancing both sides, just not shepherding the associates from one end to the other, but also continuing on the other side. So yeah,
Mm,
I felt I really felt valued and at least supported, definitely.
thank you. Well, my very last question is, you mentioned that a few years ago there was nothing else out there. There's other things out there now. I'm just curious, why do you think the association still tends to lead in this area and has grown so quickly, like you said? Just from your point of view, what's unique about the association, whether it's the lifetime access or something else to you personally that
Yeah,
stands out?
yeah, there are several groups, and I feel every group has their own value, and it's like a family. You will always be biased to your own family, but
Sure.
I think the learnings. I think the fact that I see many people coming back from different areas or fields. It's engineering, life sciences, humanities. So just the fact that they bring their experiences and they're very active, and the fact that it's just not led by financial implications. It is a business, of course, but then
Sure.
the value that we think how to improve the program, how to really look out for each other. So I felt, as a community, I feel you are way ahead of, your group is way ahead of several other
Thank you so
platforms.
much.
I wish them luck, but yeah, I'll be always biased to CS.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. Congratulations on your transition, and we look forward to watching more of your
Thank you for
continued
all the
career
help that you
success.
have given, and I hope I can be resource and keep learning from everybody. I wish you all the best.